Well, Ryan.
Well, Bryon.
It's been a ride.
It's been a ride. We've taken a little break.
Yes.
And we're back.
We're back and better than ever.
Better than ever.
Yeah.
What have we been doing over the last few months?
I kind of feel like we've kind of gone into our cave and worked on ourselves, and now we've reemerged anew we're ready to kick some ass here. That's what I feel like.
I think that we have been working on a lot of things. Unfortunately, it wasn't the podcast. We had some technical difficulties with a few things, and we were dealing with some family stuff.
Yep.
But now we're here, and our plan is to drop one show every week from here forward, every Friday.
That's right. So in a way, it's kind of like our second season. But it's not really.
It's not really, but you know what?
It's a continuation.
Season 2. Yeah. Season 1 was to be continued, but we just didn't tell anybody.
That's right.
Sorry.
So where have we been? We have been in a transition phase. So we moved on from Home Trust Financial, an AdCom group.
Love those guys. Support
Love
those
them
guys.
To death. Yep.
They got us into this wholesale world that was really, for me, a big looming thing that kind of scared me because we were taught to be scared about it.
Yeah. We were, in a way, kind of brainwashed or gaslit into thinking that the broker world's terrible. You can't get anything done. The tech sucks, and
you can't close on time. You can't.
Yeah.
You don't have relationships with your underwriters. And well, when we moved over, now that we've been here for a little over a year and a half.
Yeah.
That really couldn't be further from the truth.
Yeah. So, you know what? Shout out to Rich Hunt and Sean Lee for believing in us and helping us get our start in the wholesale channel. Nothing but love for you guys.
Absolutely.
And, we're going to continue to collaborate with those boys over at Home Trust. And, you don't have to be adversarial in this market. You can lift each other up and be collaborative, and everybody can win.
So what we've done is we moved over to Barrett Financial.
Yeah.
Give a few points on why we've moved.
Well, the big reason is, two big reasons in my mind. One of my good friends and realtor referral partners ended up moving to Atlanta, Georgia. So he moved out of state. We had to be able to have representation in that state.
Shout out to Matt Means.
Shout out to Matt. He was on our show.
He was.
Yeah. So there's, continuing to support the agent partnerships that we built. We're niching down more into VA loans. And so the ability to be able to refer to Barrett's concierge team to continue to serve those VA members is a huge deal for us. So we're represented in 49 of the 50 states.
Yeah, so if you have a loan in any other state, we can now help you, other than New York, and they're working on that.
Yep.
But we can lend in 49 of the 50 states through our concierge program.
Meaning a licensed loan officer in that state through Barrett Financial can help you out. And so we can continue to facilitate and help our clients win that way.
The reason why we're niching down to be primarily VA and why we want to work with VA is because we believe that they're severely underserved in the lending community. One thing about loans is, you have your guidelines. Let's just talk about VA. You have your guidelines from VA, and then each lender makes their own guidelines.
Yep.
Above and beyond that. And so many lenders out there for VA loans, the biggest one is credit score.
Yeah. And they call these underwriting overlays. So you have what the VA will accept for tolerances in their ability to write a loan. But then you get layers on top of that by what the companies will mandate to their underwriting team for the loan servicing. So a lot of companies will have all these extra layers of underwriting, which makes it tougher in some cases for lower credit risk borrowers.
Yeah.
Or I should say higher risk credit borrowers, meaning lower credit scores. That makes it tougher for them to get financing when, you want to help them.
And that is a huge myth. Like I follow on social media so many VA different things, and there's different posts, and I just kind of look at the comments, and the myth is you have to have great credit for VA, and that couldn't be further from the truth. The truth is the VA has no credit minimum. Now they do have criteria on what you have to meet. Typically that falls right around the 550 range. Anything below that, the things on your credit are not going to be worthy of lending. The biggest thing that they look at, though, is on-time payments for the last 12 months.
Yes.
So I just did a loan for a guy with a 549 mid-score. Approved, done, closed, couldn't be happier, was turned down by multiple lenders, and they don't know what they don't know because they're not being educated.
Yeah.
And we want to educate for the betterment of our clients.
Yeah. And the veterans, unfortunately, get taken advantage of quite a bit. So we see this on loan estimates. And even right now, as we're seeing rates come down, there's probably a lot of VA borrowers out there seeing these mailers come in. Rates as low as 4.5%. Lock it in today, no money out of pocket. Well, that's a myth, because what they're doing is they're charging you discount points, and exorbitant discount points, like 2 and 3 points.
Exorbitant.
And then they tack that onto your loan balance. And so you're losing equity every time you do that if you don't understand how your loan estimate works and how they're getting you those rates. And so, I had a borrower that's in the middle of a VA IRRRL right now, and he goes, I'm getting mailers for 4.5%. I said, well, we'll just call him Ted. I said, well, Ted, look, we can get that same rate for you. It's going to cost you discount points, and we're going to up your loan balance. He goes, well, I don't want that because I want to pay my loan off in 5 years.
Yeah.
Like, well, then it doesn't make sense to do that, does it? And he goes, no.
No, on a lot of refinances, I've done a ton of refinances in my career. On refinances, I think if you were just looking to lower your rate, you have to look at the fees you're paying also.
Mm-hmm.
In my opinion, this is just my opinion, and every client is different on what they want, what their needs are, and we talk about that when we're doing the loan. But I'll give everybody basically 3 rate options for a refinance. 1, with a discount point. Here's your rate. Let's just call it today. That rate is 5.5 with 1. With no points, but you're paying closing costs still, that might be 5 3/4. If you don't want to pay any closing costs and truly have a no-cost refinance, it might be 6 or 6 1/8. But that might make the most difference depending on what your long-term vision is for your house. What, if we feel like we're still in a falling rate environment and you want to take advantage of doing another one and call it a year, maybe 2 years, why pay fees and points up front when the recapture period is
less than 6 months?
Well, no, I'm saying if you're paying rates and fees, your recapture period, and what a recapture period is how much money you're saving versus how much money it cost you.
Yeah. So what Ryan's talking about is the cost to do the refinance. So your closing costs, title and escrow charges, all those things. You take that, you divide it by your monthly savings plan, and your recapture period typically needs to be 36 months?
For it to really make sense, I like it to be less than 18 months because you don't know, life happens. 36 months is kind of a long time. If you can get it down, if you can do a true no-cost refinance, your recapture period is truly 0.
Yeah.
And if you were looking at, if rates continue to fall, great. In 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 months, you don't feel bad for refinancing again at possibly another zero-cost loan.
Yeah. And in layman's terms, we're just preserving your equity and not helping you realize that lenders are taking advantage of your equity as a VA borrower to throw their costs onto a new loan balance and erode the equity in your house. So when you go to sell later on, you've lost $25,000, $30,000 in equity. That just makes no sense to me.
No sense.
Yeah. So don't get fooled by these mailers. And, it's our job to continue to educate. And I feel like, talking about our transition over to Barrett Financial, we have so many more relationships with so many more banks. That's another big deal for us because it's just opens up more opportunity to help out our borrowers and our realtor partners.
Yeah, I believe we have over 150 different lending institutions now to go to.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Now, that being said, are we going to use all of those? Probably not.
No.
But what it does, it gives us a benefit to look at the rates of every single one.
Yep.
Rates ebb and flow for each company all the time. We, as one company spikes our rates a little bit, we have the opportunity to look at 149 others that might not be spiking, and we have the opportunity to get you potentially the absolute lowest rate possible.
Right. And I want to chime in on one more thing. We're going to actually do a video series around this. But looking at every lending company borrows their money at the same source. They go to a warehouse line with some central bank somewhere.
Yep.
Or a big bank like JP Morgan Chase. They all borrow their money at the same rate, and then they start building in their margins from there. So then the rate offering that they have to make their profit, so basically crap rolls downhill. And what we learned coming from the banked retail to the broker side, man, FHA and VA borrowers get taken advantage of by banked retail.
Big time. The margins that they put up front that you never see are ridiculous. Huge.
Yeah. And so we feel good about where we're at because we're basically cutting out the fat from the middlemen and the regional and branch managers and putting those savings into our borrowers' pockets.
Yeah.
And I feel really good about that. I'm not slamming retail. I'm just saying this is just how it works.
This is how it works.
Yeah.
We don't have all the bloat that they do. It's awesome to know that when we're quoting people, what their rate's going to be.
Yeah.
That we are probably going to be
sharp pricing.
Really sharp.
Yeah. So let's take a look ahead here. So we're developing some new partnerships for our vision, which is going to be huge.
Yes.
So we'll continue to talk more about that as time goes on here. And really kind of our big push is we officially have a licensed branch for Barrett Financial located right here in our office in Tacoma, Washington.
1120 Pacific Avenue.
And guess who's the new branch manager?
Bryon Taylor.
Let's go. This guy. Yeah. Yeah, you were branch manager last time. I'm branch manager this time. So just looking at our notes here. So real estate partnerships, we've got the bond market swinging in a positive direction. Ryan and I are partnering. We have another partner that we brought into the fold that we'll introduce here pretty soon.
Yep.
And I'm so excited because loan officers who end up joining our team are going to thrive in this coming market because we're putting into place now. We're working hard to build out all these systems, all of these lead channels and realtor partnerships. And I kid you not, guys, this is exciting stuff and it's going to be game changing.
We have been working hard on all this stuff.
Yeah.
And we are so excited. Look, over the last 18 months. Thank you, Light.
Okay, this is hilarious, guys. So we've been trying to get our lights in this office to work here for like the past week.
Yeah.
Speaking of technical difficulties, and our podcast light just shot on here. I mean,
just randomly.
Yeah,
we couldn't get them on before. That's why we have the overhead light on.
Yeah, this is bizarre.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So yeah, we're super stoked about our partnerships. We're going to be opening up other markets. We've already been recruiting loan officers into our team. We're growing fast, and I'm excited for the people that join our team because we are going to be reinvesting in them and providing value to them. So we talked about the servant leadership aspect of what we do. It goes beyond just serving our clients and realtor partners. It goes into serving the very people that are going to be doing loans with us.
Yeah. For us as branch owners, we feel like it's our job to create great culture and to create business for our LOs and work hand in hand with them and show them how the growth works we have multiple different pillars.
Lead channels.
Yeah.
Dude, it's so exciting. I mean, we're not going to say much more about it right now, but as we continue to...
We're just starting to roll a lot of it out. And,
and we're already starting to see the proof of concept. So as we continue to progress and advance. So if you're an LO listening to this, we'd love to just sit down and have a conversation with you and figure out what your pain points are for where you're at and how we might be able to help you out, whether you decide to join our team or not. We can give you some pointers and insights into what we're seeing in the market. And our light just went off again. That's weird.
Awesome.
Yeah. So this is our welcome back show, bro.
Dang it.
Yeah.
Well, just to reiterate that we are excited about things that we're working on and actively rolling out as we're talking right now.
Yep. This is just going to be huge. And we're already getting guests lined up. So I know we've talked in the past about getting different people into this studio and get some recordings to get valuable information from a home ownership perspective. So that's going to be on our agenda moving forward, and we've got some people lined up there.
And we've talked a lot about the podcast show and, the direction that we originally wanted to go to, and we feel like we are going to pivot just a little bit. We're still going to bring on guests, and we're still going to have all of that, but we're also going to be focusing on real things that are happening in the mortgage market right now.
Yeah.
Although it might be boring. Mortgage stuff is fairly boring, and that's why we didn't want to go there in the beginning, but we want to do just a little snippet on we're going to be dropping
like weekly
shorts
updates
and things like that. And the mortgage market is moving really fast right now. Finally, we're coming into September. The Fed meetings are saying that there's almost 100% chance that the Feds are going to start lowering rates. That's a whole nother subject, but people do need to realize that when the Feds lower rates, that doesn't necessarily mean long-term rates are lowering. When the Fed lowers rates, that is going to affect instantly your credit cards, your car loans, your home equity line of credit, that type of thing. It's all short-term stuff that doesn't affect the long-term rates, although it does follow to an extent. But, if the Fed lowers the rates 0.25%, don't expect rates to go from, let's just say, 6.5 to 6.25 overnight. That's not going to happen.
No.
Interest rates follow the mortgage-backed securities in the bond market.
And it's going to take a little while. To get technical, it's going to take a little while to uninvert the yield curve to get it back to a normal yield curve, which means that the longer-term debt is going to be a better buy, which means that people will turn their investments to mortgage-backed securities, which drives that price up and rates down.
Yeah.
So we're going to be short-form content. We're probably going to get a TikTok launched along with our YouTube channel for shorts so
TikTok
that we can
launch. Yeah. We're going to do some dancing.
Yeah. Well,
probably not.
And if you guys just want general market updates on rates and what we're seeing, that's where you're going to find it. So the long form show format that we have going here is going to be more of an educational format. So we're going to be, one of our things we've been tasked with is putting together an education series for first-time home buyers in the millennial and Gen Z market, and really explaining to them how the process works. They want to know how the sausage is made. We're going to tell them how the sausage is made.
Yeah, we'll talk about myths. We'll talk about facts. We'll talk about, what payments look like, what interest rates do to your payment.
How important transparency is. And if your loan officer refuses to provide you a loan estimate, run for the hills.
Yeah.
Seriously. Yeah. Like if somebody's not willing to put their numbers up and show you what your costs are going to be to get that rate that they're telling you, they're going to try to do something on the back end of that. So I would not work with that person if they're refusing to do that, provide you a loan estimate.
Right.
Yep. So
we're here. We're ready. We'll do it for you real quick.
We are back and better than ever. Well, that's all we got for this show, folks. Tune in next week. We're going to be bringing some more to you, and things are going to be developing pretty quick here. I mean, there's so much stuff I wish we could share right now, but we'll just have to do it as we go.
By the way, I hate that when people do that, but
I know.
We just did it.
We totally did.
Sorry.
Yep.
More to come.
Yep, more to come.
Thanks a lot, everybody.
It's another great day.
It's another great day.